everyone, welcome back to the final chapter on how to edit corporate round trifold brochure template. This is chapter 5, editing the file in Adobe Photoshop. So let's open up the Photoshop file. Before we start, let's make sure that we have all the panels that we need open up. You're going to need layers and characters and paragraph panel. You can also use swatches panel. So opening the layers panel is easy. You go to Window, Layers, or keyboard shortcut F7. Character is to open up the character panel. We go to Window, Character, and to open up the paragraph panel, Window, Paragraph. Finally, to open up the swatches panel, you go to Window, Swatches. That's it. Now let me open up the file. As you can see, you have two different PSD files for front and back, and that's because of the difference in folding the size between and where the files are folded. So not to make a mess of it, it's easier to have two different files front and back. We're going to open up the front file. Just going to drag it from Windows Explorer. That's the easier way to open it up. And once we do, as well as the other Adobe files, we have this marks and info on top of the layer, but in the case of Photoshop, you have to turn it off because it will print and export. There's no way to turn that one off any other way. So that's it. Let's start with editing the files. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to editing colors, you'll have to do it manually because I am working with CS5. So it will not clip, I cannot clip the color on the group. Long explanation, never mind. But the basic is if you wish to change the color of the element, let's see here, you can do it in two different ways. You can either click on the shape layer with color and manually change it, or you can create your own front and back fill colors, and then all you have to do is select the layer or the graphic element you want to change, and for the front color you go to Alt Backspace, and to fill it with the back color you go to Control Backspace. So you can do this manually. It's a lot easier than changing each color individually from the shapes color scheme. So that will be it. And unfortunately, you have to do it for all of the graphic items. It's going to take some time, but this is the Photoshop. Now, when it comes to text, as you can see, we have the text and design layer here. When it comes to text, there are two different ways. Well, there are two things you need to know. Once you select the text layer, you can either double click on it and then change it, or you can go to the text file and you see how, let me just zoom in here. See how it goes different? This is indication that this is the text that you can edit. You click on it and let's just, for instance, change it. Okay. Once we've done that, we can apply the change. And now when it comes to editing the text, as well as the other programs, you can change the font. Let me put the serif here. We can change the style. We can change the distance between the letters, individual letters, and we can change whether or not we want it a little bit more bolder, all caps, small caps, etc. So basically, you would have to do that for all the other files, all the other font files. And once you do, you can also changing the color. When it comes to changing the color of the text, let me find the services. Okay, this one here. You change them the same way you change the graphic elements. You can change it through the characters panel, Or if you have already set up your colors, you can just go to Alt Backspace for the front, or if you want the lighter color, in this instance the black we have here, you can just go to Control Backspace and then you get the lighter color selected. So that's it when it comes to editing the text. And finally, we have to talk about editing the images. All the images in this template are smart objects. So the basic editing of smart objects apply. You double click on the smart object. It will give you this warning that you have to save it, not go to Save As. We're going to go to File, Place, and let me choose this image here. Okay. Once it's placed, I can scale it, position it. Now, since this is a part of the template, I suggest once you scale and place your image, you merge these two layers because of the size of the final file. You can go to the right click and then go to merge down, or you can use the keyboard shortcut Control E. And once it's merged down, you save it, go to Control Save, not Save As, again, Control Save, close it down, and it will be updated in your template. All of these steps you have to repeat when it comes to the other page, and then sending the file is the next thing we need to do to finish this tutorial. You can, I suggest you save the file. When it comes to saving the file, again, save two versions. Make sure to have the editing version saved so you can come back and edit the file. And when it comes to sending this file to the printer, I would strongly suggest that you rasterize all the fonts. So you go select the text layer, go right click, and then rasterize type. I would do this for front and back too. Make sure to do that for both of them. Again, rasterize type. And finally, text. Let's rasterize type. That's it. I'm gonna delete this top layer, and I'm gonna save it either as PSD file. If you if you don't want to have any changes on your PSD file, turn off the layers. So this is print. Let's see. Turn off all the layers. Make it let's say print file. Save it. And we're gonna wait for a couple of seconds until it saves. I think it's been saved. Yes. Yes, let me open it up. So as you can see, everything has been flattened out, so there will be no mistakes when it comes to fonts, everything else. If you're planning, the reason why I rasterized all the text layers is because if you're planning to send it as is, you know, 3 different pages, maybe you want your printer services to be able to edit certain parts of it, so then you save it as save as. Let me put this print, save it with layers, save, and maximize compatibility, and that's it. Now you'll have the layers saved in. Maybe if they need to edit different shapes, for instance, if they need a bigger bleed, or maybe to move the file a little bit left and right, this is the best way to save it and send it to your printer. Okay, that was it. This was the chapter 5, the last chapter on editing corporate round trifold brochure template. I hope you had fun using this file. I hope to see some of your creations. Please send me a link or a picture, and I'll publish them on my website. I love to see how people use my templates. That was it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.